Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey. Today I'm going to guide you through a Yin Yoga practice that is focusing on the winter meridians. Yin Yoga is a practice that is informed by traditional Chinese medicine. And in traditional Chinese medicine, there is a concept called five-element theory, in which every aspect of nature contains and is balanced out by these five elements. And for the season of winter, the element is water. And whenever we're thinking about water, we really want to focus on the health and the longevity of our kidney meridian and our urinary bladder meridian. So the poses that we're doing today are directly targeting those meridian lines of the body, and also a little bit of the stomach meridian, just to help us feel a little bit more balanced out. The stomach meridian is a very grounding, nourishing, and balancing meridian. So we'll have all of this in mind. A different way you could think about this whenever you're maybe setting your intention for your practice is that the season of winter, or the kidney and urinary bladder meridians, are associated with the emotion of fear. So if we think about what is going on in the winter time, depending on your climate, ancestrally speaking, winter might have been a very scary time. Resources are less available. It's more difficult to survive during the winter. And so it's natural for emotions like that to come up: fear, anxiety. So you might use this practice to feel more grounded in your body, to bring to mind everything that you have. And then also you could use this time to focus on replenishing yourself. So the kidney meridian is kind of like the storehouse of energy in the body. When the kidney meridian is healthy, is in flow, we are able to have this extra storage of energy so that during hard times of life, during the winter months, we have that to pull from and we don't feel so depleted. So with all of this in mind, we're going to begin in a starfish fold. So this is kind of like a wider variation of butterfly. I'll turn it sideways so it's a little bit easier for you to see. You'll start by bringing the soles of your feet in front of you. Knees go away from each other, and then walk your heels wider away from you than what you would usually do. Before we go any further, you might like to have blocks or a bolster for this practice. If you don't have those, you don't necessarily need them, but they can be helpful whenever we're going into some of these deeper poses. So feet are a little bit wider away from you, knees going away from each other. And then instead of folding on top of the legs, you're going to fold forward. We're going to see if you can thread your forearms underneath your calves and your shins. And then let the legs be heavy. So you're getting a little bit of pressure on that forearm, can feel nice. And your head can be heavy. So you could bring a block underneath your forehead if that is something you think would feel supportive. My palms are face up because that's what feels best for me, but you could place them face down. And then if this is just too deep of a pose for you today, you can take a more traditional butterfly fold. Starting to let yourself soften into this shape. Close your eyes, connect with your breath. In this first pose, just noticing what's going on internally today. Maybe you are experiencing some fear or anxiety. Maybe you find yourself focusing on what you don't have versus what you do have. And start to set your intention around getting grounded in your body. On creating a sense of safety for yourself through comfort items, through reminding yourself of all that you already have. And then focusing also on returning your energy to yourself so you can build up that storage of life force. Begin to let your upper body feel heavier into the pull of gravity. Deepen your breath, last little bit here. One more breath in and out. Begin to lift your head. Slide your arms out from underneath your shins and your calves, and then use your hands to help yourself come all the way back up. Roll up, head over heart, heart over hips, and then you could extend your legs, just leaning back on the hands for a moment. And just feel that straightening out of the legs. So the kidney and urinary bladder meridians run along the spine, the back body. So we're really going to focus on stretching out the back today. So from here, let's bring that right leg long, or keep that right leg long, and then bring that left foot to the inside of the thigh, but then you can open up your hips a little bit more so that your left knee is pointing further away from you at an angle, and you're kind of facing the front left corner of your mat, kind of catty corner. And then we're going to twist a little bit towards that right leg, and you might be able to fold directly over your right leg, or it may feel more comfortable to you to fold to the inside of your leg. And so it's really about your edge, like any Yin Yoga pose. You don't want to go past that edge, especially first thing in the beginning. And so finding where you want to fold down. And then settle back into your breath. Again, gravity is doing the work here. And you are coming back to that intention to create a sense of safety, security, and groundedness within yourself. To focus on what you have, what feels abundant in your life. And to return your energy to you. So we're not thinking about things that we should be doing for other people or things that are expected of us. You are replenishing your energy through this practice. Make sure that you're softening your muscles, not clenching the jaw or furrowing the brow, softening everything. Next, inhale, lift your head. Exhale, walk your hands in slowly. Be careful with your spine. After those deep and long forward folds, you really want to take care of the back. And so again, just take a moment to sit upright. Notice how your back feels. And then we'll take that to the other side. So you can simply extend your left leg towards the front of your mat. I'm going to turn so that it's easier for you to see and that I can stay facing you. So the left leg goes long, but then you're opening that right knee out. Heel is in towards the groin. You're facing kind of catty corner towards the front right corner of your mat. And then you're just going to twist a little bit towards the left leg. And again, you can either fold to the inside of your leg, or you could take it directly over the left leg, going to your edge. Head is heavy. Your shoulders can round forward. Your spine can round. Use your breath to anchor your mind, to calm your nervous system. Slow inhales, long exhales. Deepen your breath. Come back if you've lost that connection. One more breath in. Exhale, press down into your hands. Slowly, mindfully walk yourself back up. Pause, acknowledge how you feel. From here, bend into both knees. You can roll over your knees or over to one hip. We're coming through table, but then into dangle. So you're going to tuck all 10 toes, press into your hands and your feet to lift your hips, and then walk your hands back towards you. so that you're in a standing forward fold. And so this can be one of the most challenging yin poses. It's really going to challenge you to let go as much as you can. But to make this a little bit easier, you could, first of all, bring your blocks or your bolster or both stacked on top of each other underneath your hands to give you more of a lift, and then you can kind of sink into the support of your arms. Another option is to find a wall and then lean your hips back up against the wall so that your legs really can soften and relax as much as possible. Or if you're not choosing to take any of those options, you want your legs to be straight, even if that means you're up here. This isn't 100% for the hamstrings, although the hamstrings are going to get a nice stretch. We're mostly focusing on releasing tension along the spine. So you want your head to be heavy. Your arms are just dangling alongside your ears. And with every exhale, you're just surrendering to that pull of gravity even more. You can think about this as like your head is like a bowling ball and your spine is like a slinky. And so with the bowling ball being at the bottom of the slinky, it's like you're tractioning out that slinky, creating lots of space between each vertebrae. And Turkey is visiting for this class today. If you have a pet, a furry friend nearby, you might give them a little pat. And remember that it's okay if a pose is too intense, that you can leave it out or you can give yourself a break. Just be sure that you're not fidgeting, swaying. You want to be still while you're in the pose. Every exhale, letting go a little bit more. One more breath in. Exhale. Bring your hands to the mat or to props, and then you're going to heel toe your feet out about the width of your mat. Toes point out, heels point in, and then start to sink your hips down into squat. And so here again, if you have your blocks or your bolster, you can slide one of those blocks, two of those blocks, or the bolster underneath your seat. We're letting the hips be heavy, so you don't want to feel like you have to resist gravity here. We're stretching out the ankles, and it can feel really nice after that forward fold to put a deep bend in the knees. And we're still stretching out the lower back here. And I like to have my hands to heart center, but you might like to just grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, or even have your fingertips to the mat. You can also let your head be heavy or keep it lifted, whatever feels good to you. One more breath in. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the mat if they're not there already. Press into your feet, lift your hips, and walk yourself forward through tabletop pose. Very slowly and mindfully. Lower yourself down to your belly for Sphinx. So your hip bones, your pelvis, your belly are resting on the mat. Elbows are underneath your shoulders. Toes are stretching back, and pull your heart through your arms for a moment. Make this a little bit more active. Take a breath in, and then exhale. You can soften into the support of your arm bones. Let your head be heavy again, getting a nice stretch for the back of your neck. In this pose, we're focusing a lot more on the gentle compression through the lower back than on a heart opener. Soften your glutes. Every breath in, feel your belly expanding into your mat. Every breath out, surrender to gravity a little bit more. Welcome back, Turkey. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, fan your elbows out. Stack your hands or your forearms and rest your head down onto that stack, however is comfortable to you. Feel the release in your shoulders, feel the release in your lower back. From here, we're just going to roll over to our backs. Meet me in constructive rest, flat back to the mat, feet planted about hip width distance apart, knees pointing towards the sky. So when you get here, feeling the sense of neutrality in your spine, after all of those deep forward bends and that one back bend, we're going to take a twist to balance everything out. Bring your knees in towards your body. Open your arms out into either a T shape or a cactus shape. And then drop both of your knees over towards the left. Try to keep your knees coming in close and maybe even let your feet slide away from you for a tucked variation of your reclined twist. Notice if you can soften anywhere else just a little bit more. Even if that changes the shape of the pose, just notice what it would be like to let go completely. Next breath in, float your legs back up through center. Take a pause for a breath or so, just notice any differences between the two sides. And then when you're ready, let both of your knees drop over to the right this time. Left arm reaching out beside you, twisting the opposite way. One more breath in. Exhale, come back through center, hugging your knees in. Maybe you just rock a little bit side to side. From here, we're making our way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So if you did bring a bolster to your mat, you could put it underneath your knees, extending your legs. And this just allows for your spine to rest in a more neutral position. You could also take your legs up the wall or put your legs into a chair or a couch. If you feel cool, you could cover up with a blanket. And just let your breath become more natural. You don't need to control the breath anymore. You can just let it happen on its own. Surrender the weight of your body into the pull of gravity. And you'll hear my voice when it's time to come back. Enjoy this period of deep rest. Remaining just as you are, begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. And as you feel ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles, creating small movements to start, and maybe they get larger over time. You could take a big full body stretch if that feels good. And then breathe out, let it all go again. In your own time, pull your knees into a hug and then roll over to whichever side is most comfortable for you. And then press your way up. Make your way into a comfortable seat. We will all meet here. No hurry. Sitting up nice and tall, when you do arrive in this seat, just take a moment to acknowledge how your energy feels, how your body feels. Remind yourself of your intention for practicing today. And we'll close by bringing palms together in front of the heart and taking one chant of Om. Wherever you are with your breath, take a deep breath in and exhale to chant Om. Thank you all so much for being here today and sharing your practice with me. I hope that this practice has served you well. Let me know how it went for you in the comments down below. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed the practice, and also subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new classes every single Sunday. With that said, I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope we can practice together again very soon. Thank you. Namaste.